Karli, I feel bad about last week. We worked Allie so hard that she passed out.
Yeah. Do you think that she could ever forgive us?
Well, I don't know. Let's find it. Hey, Allie, where you at? There you are. Hey, Allie, if me and Karli here got you like a we're sorry card, would you forgive us?
Yeah. Please. Pretty, please.
Let's see. No.
Oh. Well, I'm going to lose the accent for a minute as we're going to get into a story here. But, Allie may not forgive us yet for working her so hard last week. But we're going to get into a lesson tonight that tells about Jesus forgiving somebody and using him to share the gospel. Now, one thing that we all do, it's a three-letter word. If you've ever been in my class before, we've learned about it a few times. It's sin, and we all sin. And so this gentleman tonight that we're going to talk about, you heard me and Karli talk about a few weeks ago. His name was Saul, and he was on the road to Damascus. And this guy, he persecuted Christians. And so he lived to basically find Christians and put them in jail. And then, he would be there wanting them dead. He actually wanted the Christians killed. And so he was on the road to Damascus here, which you all heard about that. We're going to learn tonight about how Jesus used him to tell others about him. And so, obviously after the road to Damascus, Paul had been chosen by God to spread the news to the Gentiles. Now, Gentiles were people that were not Jews. So Paul here, he's on fire for God now. He's on fire to tell people about Jesus after this encounter. And he's traveling hundreds of miles, And so what happens, though? You've got people that doesn't like this. And so finally you've got people that are getting angry that Paul's going around telling people about Jesus, and a lot of people are getting saved and coming to the knowledge of Jesus Christ. And so what happened? He got arrested. All right, he got arrested. He got sent to Caesarea, which he was in prison. And so at the time, there was a governor named Festus. And Paul, he was going to ship Paul back to Jerusalem, put him in prison there. But Paul appealed to Caesar and got a little audience. And so Festus, that drew the attention. There was a king called King Agrippa. And so King Agrippa come down to see what was going on. And so after that, Festus told him, said, well, hey, king, you won't believe this guy. He's been going around. This guy persecuted Christians, and now he's going around telling people about Jesus and trying to get them to believe. I don't know what's going on. And so here he is, King Agrippa. He's got the audience of King Agrippa. And, what Paul believed was, all right, I've had this audience. I'm in jail for a reason. God has put me here to use me to tell even the higher-ups about Jesus. And so he goes on to tell King Agrippa about the road to Damascus and how remember that light, that just shined down so bright, that was even more intense than the sun, that basically stopped Paul in his tracks, and he fell down to the ground. And of course, if you all remember, that was the voice of Jesus, and asked Paul, hey, why are you persecuting me? Of course, Paul was just very confused. When he found out it was Jesus, he was actually persecuting, and that was God. And so Paul explained to King Agrippa that obviously he obeyed the voice, and now he's telling people everywhere about Jesus. And so it planted a seed. I don't know if we ever find out whether King Agrippa believed in Jesus or not, but what King Agrippa told Paul was, are you trying to convince me to become a Christian too? And King, that's what he asked. And Paul, and this shows you how much, he wanted people to truly believe in Jesus Christ. He said, I truly wish that not only you, but that everyone that listens to me would believe in Jesus. And so what happened in this story is that Jesus is using Paul as, he's gave him a foundation of faith. And really, through all the bad things that Paul used to do, he gave him a foundation of forgiveness. He showed Paul that forgiveness and now using him, to tell others. And so that's that firm foundation of forgiveness that Jesus can give everybody. Like I said, we all sin, we all do things that are wrong, but you know, if we just ask Jesus to forgive us, you know, and ask Him into our hearts, then He'll forgive us, which is pretty cool, right, gang?
Yep.
All right. You still won't forgive us, Allie?
Yep.
Oh, you are. Yeah, see? Look at there. All right, we will say, I will say this in Romans 5:8, one of our verses for tonight. We have to get the official manuscript out here. You know, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us, and that's just a marvelous thing.